Hey guys, my name is Love86. I am a moderator on POEGuy's Discord server. He's put out a Siege Ballista leveling guide for League Start. A lot of I answered a lot of people for the first weekend. This video was supposed to be day 2, but I got delayed with real life stuff. I recorded it yesterday, and then the video never got saved. So if you see me having a few things that are already ready made, it's because I literally did this exact same thing last night. But my idea is to go through visually correct for you guys any of the common mistakes that are in the guide. All of the things that I'm going to call out are literally in the guide, and it is things that I have been answering for the last couple of days. So hopefully this is going to be a little bit of a guide, or a resource for you to be able to improve yourself. And my feeling is that everybody does the transition. They do all of the gem links. They set up all of the correct skills. They get the the bow, they get the helmet, I happen to have for this demonstration, a 5-link chest. I've got the quiver, I've got boots, I've got dexterity on my rings, I've got a belt with fantastic defense, fantastic resists, life, and elemental damage on it. I am way overcapped for resistances. If I was a new player, I'd be thinking right now, I've made the transition successfully, right? I have the tree that matches the POEGuy tree. And then you go into a map and you're like, okay, cool, I got this. Should be easy. Barely an inconvenience, right? You walk in, you start clearing, and right away you notice, my damage is not the same as the POEGuy. Remember, this is a tier 12 map with no mods. There's no mods on it. So, you start clearing, you're like, broski, this is going a little rough, right? Like, these monsters are a little bit difficult. Like, what am I missing here? How come I'm not doing the same amount of damage as the POEGuy? And, I'm kind of dying a little bit. Taking on a lot of damage too. What's going on? How come this isn't working? I can't progress my Atlas like this, right? It's slow. Nothing on the screen is dying. You know what? It must be the delirium. We're gonna end the delirium, right? And then everything is gonna start dying faster. Hey, look at that. And it does, right? But that's not really a solution. And remember, you're still on a white unmodded map. Okay, let's figure out what happened there. Okay? You've made the transition and you're feeling like you're not doing any damage. One of the big boosts to damage, and easily the thing that you can fix right now, is your cast on crit setup. Your cast on critical strikes. The gem reads must support both an attack skill and a spell to work. The attack skill will trigger a spell when it critically hits an enemy. Notice that the critical strike supports must be linked to both an attack and spells. I have just spells here. I have the Frostbite, I have a Frost Bomb, and I have an Ice Golem. But my Frenzy and my Mana Forged Arrows are linked together, so my Frenzy keeps going off. It looks like it should be working, but it's not, because my Frenzy needs to be linked to the cast on crit support. So I'm going to take out the Ice Golem from these links. The Ice Golem is going to get cast manually, and then the Frenzy is going to get cast manually, so that I'm in control of when these shots are going out and trying to get crits with them in order for my Frost Bomb and for my Frostbite to go off. When they do, that's minus 34% cold resistance and minus 15% cold resistance. That means that I'm doing 50% more damage to an enemy that I have debuffed. And we want that. Okay. So we fixed it so that the frenzy goes off. Right? Let's see how this works. Can we actually get curses out? Right? There's a curse, and there's a frostbomb on the ground. And you can see already my damage is doing a little bit better, right? I summon my ice golem, and my damage, I'm actually hitting things, and I'm actually critting. So right away I can see that my damage goes up. Next up, look at this. These flasks, they're straight out of campaign. You can't have flasks straight out of campaign. Your entire defensive and offensive layering is, shot. You've spent so much money on getting all of these gear pieces, but you've completely ignored 5 effective gear pieces. A mana flask, because of our ascendancy, a Ritual of Awakening, we regenerate 0.5% mana per second for each summoned totem. We have 11 totems at the moment. That means that we're recovering 5% of our mana pool. Out of 1,000, we're recovering 50 per second. That means that, look at my mana. It doesn't go down. When my totems are up, my mana doesn't go down. I can throw this mana flask away. I don't need it. I don't need 2 Quicksilvers. I can put one of these away. The Quicksilvers are running a chance to freeze and reduced effective shock on you. Reduced effective shock doesn't matter. I have Purity of Elements. You and nearby allies are immune to all elemental resistances. Immune to freeze and chill. I'm automatically immune. This suffix does nothing for me. I don't need 2 life flasks. I need 1. And the flasks are real easy to roll too. Like, you don't need to do a lot in order to get your flasks rolled. Again, full disclosure, I am on standard because I'm investing my time into creating a video on helping others progress rather than progressing myself. So for your flasks, go ahead and make better flasks. It just takes a few alteration orbs. Okay, look, transmute, and this one was done. I did this one last night when I was making this same exact video. Critical chance, very important. You get 150% critical chance off of this flask. That's this entire wheel of crit is on 1 flask. Let's go ahead and roll the rest. We will be looking for 20% elemental resistances. We're going to be looking for movement speed, and we're going to be looking for evade. It doesn't matter which flask gets what. And here, here's one more quick tip on what's not relevant. 19% chance to gain a flask charge when you deal a critical strike. The totems do not count for this. The only crits that this flask mod will count is from your frenzies. It's useless. Most of the prefixes, honestly, are useless except for increased effect and increased duration. 0.5% of attack damage leached as life during effect. Your totems will not leech life for you. This will only come from your frenzy, which is doing no damage. This is both of these mods are useless. You are your totems, but your totems are not you. Anything going out that will affect them. Anything coming in that they get effects on will not count towards you. Here's another bait mod. Right now, I have 300 armor. Increasing my armor by 47% is going to do goddamn nothing. there is going to be a time when increasing armor is going to be relevant, and that's when you swap this chest piece out for a double influence chest. But right now, that's all it is just burning away your money. %increased effect. Nope. And alteration orbs, you just sell rare gear that you pick up from the map, and you get that. And bam, increased evasion, 7% movement speed. Do we want to go a little bit higher than that? We already have critical strike chance. Effect. Spell damage doesn't affect us. We already have crit. You cannot double up on mods. We're going to save this one, because if you roll this, what you do is you stick it in your stash and you say, sell this for 20 chaos. And then you grab another one. And these will come right off the ground. You know, yes, I am on standard. I have a stash tab full of flasks, but literally, I'm about to showcase a map, and you can see that they will just fall on the ground. Oh my god, come on. There. Movement speed and reduce charges per use. I'm not going to tell you to put enkindling or instilling orbs on them, because they are cheap, but they're still, you know, they still have a cost to them. Having a defensive flask setup means that you now have evasion, you have movement speed, you have you know, additional elemental resistances, and you have a massive amount of crit. The life flask needs corrupted blood immunity, because corrupted blood will just snap you in half if you're not paying attention. So this hasn't changed our dexterity number at all, right? We're still at 841, but look at how this map will feel with flasks. Right? I'm no longer struggling. I feel like I can actually do some things. Right? I can take the boss on. Oh my god, it does a lot of canvas damage. But I can heal through it, and I can actually do enough damage with just changing out my flasks to be effective. That was a white map, tier 12. Moving right along, we are going to go ahead and say that our cast on crit discussion is completed. We've talked about flasks and how to roll them. One thing that the build guide recommends is a Rumi's concoction instead of this magic granite flask. That's because a Rumi's concoction will take 12% off of the damage attack damage that you take straight off of you, whereas this thing is not going to take that much damage off of you. Okay, moving on. The next thing that we're talking about is the strength and int balance. You need to have strength and int balance. This is straight out of the guide, the POEGuy guide. Calls out for the helmet. We use Fractal Thoughts. It's an excellent helmet for dexterity stacking. The critical modifiers are 15% dexterity. But remember that the condition for increased for dexterity is conditional. Your strength must be higher than your intelligence. Right now, my intelligence is higher than my strength. Look what happens when I literally, this thing is supposed to give me plus 21 dexterity and, plus 20, plus 20. But it's actually reducing my dexterity by about 40. Just for having the strength lower than the int. You can fix it by, just unallocate one of these int passives. Ta-da! Now your strength and int are balanced. You have 940. This is 100 dexterity over the 840 that we started with, just by dropping an intelligence passive. Low rolled gear. Bless Orbs and you. I see a lot of people buying gear that's low rolled. A Hiri's Truth. This thing rolls up to 80 dexterity. It's not going to be, it's going to be what, 2 KS more in order to get one that is close to that 80 dexterity. The Fractal Thoughts rolls up to 40. If you bought a 25% critical strike multiplier on your Fractal Thoughts, consider getting one that's closer to 40. If you bought an Iron Commander that has 14% attack speed, the attack speed is one of the most important stats on it. Get one that's 19% or 20%. Even this one here is not there yet. It needs to be 20% because that attack speed is the basis of all of the other attack speed increases that we're going to be doing. This base attack speed of 1.42 on the bow is what's going to be multiplied when we do all of our increased attack speed stuff. The critical strike chance of the bow is also the base crit strike. So 6.7 is where it is right now. The Bless Orbs are nearly free. I have to make space. Okay, let's make space. And this goes up to 50%. You don't need to hit 50, but 48 is plenty fine. Our base crit went from 6.7 to 7.4. So all of that, this 150% increased critical strike chance is based on this. And the higher your base is, the better it is for your crit. Make sure you do that. All right? You can Bless Orb many things. You can Bless Orb implicits on your rings. You can Bless Orb implicits on your amulet. This is 21. It can go up to 30. You've just gained, an extra 10 dex. Why not, right? And again, like I said, go ahead and get yourself a better rolled one. Get one that's 79 dexterity. Make it a good one. It's only going to cost you a couple of more chaos in order to save yourself so much effort in trying to find upgrades. Wow, this one's also shit. Anyway, when you do get it, you can get the Shaman's Domain Annoint, which is going to be huge, and that's Shaman right here. Shaman's Domain, 20% crit multiplier, 60% crit chance. This is huge, but it costs a silver, an azure, and a clear oil. The silver oils are expensive. You know what's not expensive? And again, straight out of the build guide, go ahead and anoint Divine Judgment. You get 50% increased elemental damage. Your bow is scaling flat physical damage, which gets converted, and your quiver is scaling flat cold damage. So you get a lot of flat cold, but there's very few increases in damage. Like Brisk Wrap is giving you an increase, and this Divine Judgment is going to give you an increase. And the oils for it are really cheap. It's sepia, teal, and black. Walk up to Cassia.
Oh, go on.
And get your Annoint. It's the oils for it are like a total of 4 chaos between those 3 oils. Go ahead and maybe not on a Hyres, but on an Astramentus, you would want to increase the quality of that amulet. Even on a Hyres, going from 0 quality to 20 quality, this is going to cost you 20 chaos, and now you've increased from a flat 80 plus 30 dexterity to 36 implicit and 94. So this is now giving you 130 dexterity instead of 110. Well worth the 20 chaos. Your rings in your belt. The guide says you need to have dexterity. That doesn't mean you need to have the very bare minimum dexterity. You also want to pick up bases that will be conducive to what you're doing. Having one extra socket or having energy shield as an implicit on your rings does nothing for you. You can buy these, but you can also craft them really, really easily. You literally pick up two stone rings from any map that you're running. These are, just trash. And these deafening essences of rage are going to add, oh, hey, rage. No. These deafening essences of sorrow are going to add a T1 dexterity mod to your rings. They're 2 chaos a pop. Look at this. 1 click gives you intelligence and life, and dexterity, T1 dexterity. You already have cold and lightning resist on your prefixes. Not on your prefix, on your implicit. You can go ahead and pick this up and craft nothing on it. Fortunate. And now you have 54 dexterity on your ring, where before you had 64 across both rings. Not good enough? Not good enough? Almost not good enough. That's decent. And that's good. Look at this. You have an open suffix to fix your resistances if you need to. Hello. So now we're at 1,071 dexterity. Let's keep on going. This was what, 6 clicks of Deafening Essence of Sorrow. We've spent 12 chaos so far to get these 2 rings. The belt. This belt is awesome. Look at this thing. It's got fire resistance, it's got cold resistance, it's got lightning, it's got elemental damage, it's got life, it's got strength. You know what it doesn't have? It doesn't have any goddamn dexterity. And the implicit of 30 strength isn't actually helping us. The guide says, go ahead and grab a Stygian Vice and do the exact same thing. Deafening Essence of Sorrow, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3. Wow, that's not terrible, but we're not keeping that. Strength, dexterity, elemental damage with attacks, and cold resistance. And life. into that belt. I see so many people are like, oh my gosh, I've got an open socket. I am going to add things to fix my build. Look at this jewel. 11 global crit multi, 24 to life, fire damage to bow attacks. We are using a bow, fire and cold resistance. This jewel is freaking great. You know what it doesn't have? Dexterity. We're a dexterity stacker. Why don't you get one like this? 15 dexterity, 8 dexterity plus 8 intelligence. The damage with daggers? Irrelevant. We're a dexterity stacker. You came here because you want to stack dexterity. Why don't you have the dexterity in your items? You just gained over 100 dexterity by putting on this belt. Okay, and speaking of implicits, get the resistances. Your boots are fantastic. Look at this, 100 life, 49 fire resist. I've got lightning resist on there. I've got movement speed on there. You know what? I don't have any dexterity. Pick up that stack of deafening essences of sorrow. Ay, ay, ay. Gonna make me empty out the sockets? How rude. Look at this, 30 movement speed, 40 lightning resist, and the dexterity that we need. And still got an open prefix. No, it doesn't. Hey, I'm recording a video, okay? I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to focus on saying the next thing. I'm sorry, people. 52 dexterity into the boots, 30 movement speed. If you don't land movement speed, if you don't land life, go ahead and craft it on there. Your crafting bench has movement speed. Your crafting bench has life. Put it on there. 25%, 24% is better than 0. But the dexterity is key. Get it on there. Oh my god, I'm 27 minutes into this video and we haven't even covered half the freaking topics. Bless Orbs in you. Catalyst attributes, anointing for fun and damage. Absolutely. Low rolled gear. These are the things that we want to get rid of. Gem quality. Siege Ballista is... this is, again, part of the guide. Siege Ballista is your main attack skill. It has up to 5% increased attack speed per maximum totem. Do you know how many maximum totems we have? We're up to 13 totems right now. That means that we're getting... God, what is it? 65% attack speed? Do you know what Berserker builds would do to get 65% attack speed? We're getting it for free just by quality. Adding the quality to your gem, you just go through the lab. The Uber lab, it gives you 2 uses of the Divine Font, which will give you 18% quality onto your thing. You go through the lab twice, you've got 20% quality on your Siege Ballista, and you're part of the way there for something else like a Curse, like your Frostbite, or your Frenzy, which is going to give you more attack damage per Frenzy charge, or your Frost Bomb, which is going to give you increased cooldowns, or your Ice Golem, which is going to give you even more crit strike chance and accuracy, which you're never going to need. Like cooldown recovery on dash, all of this stuff, it helps a ton. Steel Skin, cooldown recovery, it helps a lot when you get the quality. And running through the lab to get 65% quality just like that, amazing. Why wouldn't you do that? Okay. Tree pathing. So right now we're at 1257. I've spent what is it, 4 chaos plus 20 chaos, so 24 chaos, and I spent 15 of these. 14 of these. 14 times 2, that's 28 chaos, 28. So I've spent about 50 chaos right now to fix my belt, my rings, my amulet, and my boots, and my flasks. And I've ran through the lab twice in order to get the quality onto my siege ballista. Next up, tree pathing. This really befuddles me. There's a lot of brutal restraints on the market. They're all really good. Up until you get your brutal restraint, I understand you can't pay the 65 chaos for brutal restraint. You can't pay the 65 chaos for an Astramentus. You need something that is going to be very wide reaching in order for you to scale your dexterity and damage. You don't have the brutal restraint yet. You're working towards it, but for now, go ahead and pick up jewels that are giving you flat dexterity. You know, and this is straight off the guide. You get a jewel like this, and you're like, yeah, 8 dexterity, 8 strength, 6% life, critical strike multiplier with elemental skills. Also, the elemental skills doesn't apply. Your siege ballista is converting the damage to cold, but the siege ballista is not an elemental skill. Whenever you see the word elemental skill, it's not siege ballista, it's not shrapnel ballista. It is being converted. This is not a physical skill. It's an attack, projectile, totem, bow skill. That's it. You're not getting the benefits off this thing. You can buy a different jewel for 5 chaos. I did this live on yesterday on the video. That's why I have these jewels. But this is 25 this is 23 dexterity instead of 8. Right? You go through and you don't have a light of meaning yet, but and this is again a great jewel. You are getting 10% totem life, which you don't care about. 8 dexterity, which is really low. Why not go ahead and make it 22 dexterity? Right? You see how the number is incrementally going up, just ever so slowly climbing. You make the incremental changes. You don't have to do everything at once. Look at this thing. +1 maximum fire resist, 6% life, 2% reservation efficiency. This thing is amazing. This is an adorned jewel, right? This thing is great. You know what's even better? Dexterity. I'm not getting any benefits from the critical strike multiplier while dual wielding. I'm not dual wielding, but now I have 1,300 dex. This is my big pet peeve, and here's where we're gonna start looking for points for our build. The build right now, I've got everything allocated except for 1 point. In order for me to continue going for more points, I need to find them somewhere. And I usually look at mobile POB, and I never seem to understand this, but people, when they do their respec, they seem to I never understood this until I looked at it in game, because I spend most of my time not in game. I look at mobile POB, and I always see these nodes light up, and I'm like, why didn't you people respec these 2 points? It's because the Hierophant art is so bright that you can't see them. You can't see that you have these 2 points selected from when you were leveling through the campaign, your very first levels for Holy Flame Totem. You went in, damage, and then you never reset them because you can't see them. Get those 2 points back. Holy Dominion, it's no longer relevant. You are all that you're getting out of this is a little bit of elemental damage, and you're getting 12% to all resistance for 2 points. That's a lot. What you can do with those 2 points instead? Why don't you get back the dexterity? We're a dexterity stacker. Why do people drop these points? That's plus 20 dexterity. Okay. More pathing. You don't have a brutal restraint. These points are giving you strength and projectile damage, which is nice. But these are basically a housing for when you have a brutal restraint. Up until you have the brutal restraint, these points are just giving you life, which is nice, strength and projectile damage, which is nice. But you know what it's not? It's not dexterity. You know what is dexterity? This is dexterity. This is dexterity. This is dexterity. This is life that you just lost by taking those points away. But then you path towards dexterity and the same projectile damage, projectile speed that you were just taking away over there. You're shuffling your points around because you don't have a brutal restraint affecting this area. You're not getting the benefits that POEGuy is getting out of here because you can't afford it. But that doesn't mean that should stop you from doing damage. Adapt, overcome, be amazing. You didn't take the point blank. Why? This gives you drop your totems right at your feet. This is giving you a shit ton more damage. 30%. Take it. Just take it. You, for some reason, you pathed over here on the totems on the left side. Totem damage, totem placement speed. It's cute, but also why not go for crit strikes and crit damage? What you're getting so much out of in your other parts of your tree. Grab those points, man. They're worth grabbing. Where am I pulling out of points out of now? Oh yeah, right here. Go ahead and grab the totem taunt nodes. Totems taunting you, taunting enemies means that you are taking 10% less incoming damage. You've got all kinds of crit stuff going on. Let's see how well we're actually doing on crit. Let's go ahead and pop our flask. So this is realistically our main hand critical strike chance, 46%. That's amazing, right? It's amazing, but also it's not really good enough. We do want to continue going and getting more dexterity. It's cute that we're getting this crit. And, if we weren't pathing towards watchtowers here, I'd also have dropped that, but we need the watchtowers. But you know what else we need? A medium cluster jewel. We need Onslaught. This thing is like literally rolled with alterations plus a Regal Orb. Go ahead and grab it. Go ahead and allocate those points. Do not allocate this point. If this is a notable, don't allocate it. You save your points. Points are so expensive and so important. Eventually a split personality is going to live there. You know how much split personalities are day 1, 2, and 3? Like 2 divines. You know what's good that's not a split personality? Just dexterity. Throw it in there. 1300. We're getting there. We're getting there, right? Okay, what else do we need? We've balanced out these items, right? We've got dexterity here, 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 we've got dexterity everywhere. Sorry, had to go for a second. Wife called me out. So we're at 1300, and notice once more, our intelligence is higher than our strength. What do we do about that? We have already strength rolled here. Well, we have really high intelligence on here. We have a dexterity roll on here. There's only one thing left to do. You make the balance. You literally make it balanced. You just, bam, minus 30 intelligence. We're now over 1400 dexterity. Our intelligence and strength are now balanced. And at 1400, like, you're pretty much fine to move forward into T16s. This, this cost us pretty much nothing. It cost us a few regret orbs. It cost us, an anoint. It cost us a little bit of catalyst. It cost us a little bit of chaos in order to get the deafening essences of sorrow going. And then we just go, right? So right now, this is where you should be for T16 mapping. And T16 maps, this is the minimum. 1400 is the minimum that you would want to go for T16 maps. Notice on here, this T16 map has monsters chained 2 additional times. And you know what that means is when you have all of your totems up, that's 14 spots where a monster can chain off of, and they chain 2 times. If with map mod effect, that's 3 times. You're gonna get shotgunned by everything. Get your Pantheon fixed. Okay, look at this. You can get avoid projectiles that have chained. You can get 10% to avoid projectiles. You have physical damage reduction, which you are sorely lacking because you have no goddamn armor whatsoever. Do it. Get it done, and it's really easy. Divine vessels are really common. They're very cheap. All you do is you go, hey, I need to get capture core, Sister of Shadows, in order to avoid projectiles that have chained. What is it? KHOR? If my map was unlocked somewhere in here, it would be glowing. Anyway, this is standard. Sorry. But get yourself protection. Right. 1460 dex. I am going to be manually casting my stuff, right? Let's go ahead and turn on all of my skills back. I still have plenty of mana. I'm going to summon my Ice Golem before I go in there. I have all of my flasks right here. I'm immune to Corrupted Blood. That map is completely done already. I am going to the wrong place. So T16 map, and you know, as you're progressing through your atlas, you don't have a choice often in terms of what the map is going to do to you. You corrupt it and you pray for the best. And you can already see how a corrupted T16 is behaving a little bit differently than we were with a white no mod tier 12. So you're still gonna die, especially if you get poisoned. I specifically did not build chaos resistance. If you know that you're gonna be walking into stuff that's chaos, make a flask. You make a flask. You grab an amethyst flask. Oh my gosh, some of these are crazy. And you roll it, and you become more chaos resistant. Hey, that's actually not bad. Okay. Um, personally, I don't care about chaos. I'll take the bop on the face if I get chaos down. The rings that you were just crafting, right there. Cold and lightning resistance. You pick it up off the ground. You don't need to buy a lot, right? At 1400, remember, this is still bare minimum for mapping. You're still gonna get shotgun. Like, look at that. Things are gonna come at you in your face, and you're gonna want to move in a way that you're not walking directly into packs. You see how that guy is trying to shoot me, and I am moving around him? I'm messing with that guy. But you're able to successfully clear your T16 maps, even if they are corrupted in some really weird ways. And the build performs just fine if you let it. If you are wise in your investments, if you're moving correctly, you haven't invested the hundreds of divines in order to make this thing immortal. And as you fight the boss, remember, all you're doing is you're throwing out your frenzies on top of him. And it's safe. If you want to do real intense stuff, the 8 mod corrupted maps with all of the crazy stuff on them, with the, burning and all the the crazy shit, you still can. Like, grab this map, and as you have been completing your atlas, help yourself. Grab 2 domination scarabs that you're gonna throw in there. Go ahead and grab like monsters of monstrous lineage. Get yourself a little bit of extra pack size so that you can have things that will help you. If you've taken on the Nico tech, go ahead and throw in a sulfite scarab so that you can get some of those scaling benefits. These scarabs are worthless. They're going to just sit in your stash forever unless you are using them. You're never going to sell them. Throw them into your map. Get some benefit out of it. Right? 8 mod map on bare minimum. Right now I have 2,000 health. That's not kosher, right? But you're still able to complete your atlas. That's the whole point, is that you're able to cheaply and quickly move through it. Do I die? Hell yeah. I'm at bare minimum. 8-mon map. Very, very. I don't have my Flasks automated. I don't have my Frenzy automated. I have barely enough dexterity in order to clear the T16 maps. I'm getting a lot of borrowed power from shrines. If I had Nico in here, I'd be getting power from Nico. If I had Huck, I would open a... Jesus Christ, what's wrong with my filters? If I had Huck, he'd be giving me haste aura right now. My Merc would be doing stuff if I was in, if I wasn't playing in standard. Like, the map is comfortable, right? Am I gonna die? Probably. Am I still gonna get map completion? Probably. Whew. That guy went boom! Again, it's an 8-mod map. I wasn't paying attention. You are on a bow build. Okay? Whew, my god. Oh, I think my pot's here. Exciting. Hello? Amazing, I'll be right outside.
Alright, thank you.
Anyway. Jesus, this guy is just... This burning ground? Let's go ahead and take care of that. I have a feeling that's what's killing me. Where is it? What? I don't know. Oh my god, I don't have it. I literally don't have it. What? Whatever. There is a burning ground immunity. Oh no, I don't have it. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my pots. I can't leave it like that. I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna go get my pot, and then I'm gonna come back and do another map show. Hey guys, sorry, we're back. Had to do a little bit of work stuff, and yeah. Anyway, we're at 1460. We're at 65 fire resist. That's not good enough. We're gonna do another map showcase, and we're gonna fix our fire resist. We've got 1 point left. Let's right here. We can balance out our fire resist right here. Common mistake. Minus 30 life. And we get 15% increased maximum life from using a purse grab, because we're able to take this point. We're taking this mastery for 15% health if I don't have any health on my armor. I think that's good enough. Right? Yeah, let's just run a map. We're gonna run a 8-mod corrupted Crimson Township. It's got extra chaos damage and wither. I am at basically negative 60 Chaos resist, so just a heads up that I'm going to be taking a large amount of damage. Oh, I gotta set my filter back on. What was that? That was a tick. Oh yeah. So we are manually summoning our golem. We are manually casting frenzy to keep our frenzy charges up, as well as get debuffs on stronger enemies. This is still the bare minimum. So just keep that in mind. Very likely I'm still gonna die because the build is not meant for this. It does this at 1800. Stand still. And there we go. So yeah, that's it. You can go ahead and get one of these. You can go ahead and get one of these. You can go ahead and get one of these, and then things are just gonna get better. Anyway, I'll see you guys all later.